Hello everyone, this is 1945 1 and 2, or part 1 and 2, I can't remember now whether it is part 1 or part 2, or whether just 1 or 2, anyway, doesn't really matter. This is another vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. Now, previously the 1940 type games were done by Capcom, such as like 1941, 1943, I think 1942 as well. They did a whole range anyway of these vertically scrolling shoot-ups. I'm totally not with it at all today. But this one, or this series, interestingly enough, on the PlayStation 2, I can't find any mention of Capcom anywhere. So whether or not this is an unofficial version of the game, or whether it's just a spin-off, or whether or not Capcom just let somebody else do it because they couldn't be bothered doing another one themselves, I'm not too sure. But it's very old school, and it's actually really good. I was a bit unsure at first because it does take quite a major style detour from the sort of older Capcom versions of the game. You know, that yes, you would fly against huge big boss battles, usually a giant bomber or a whacking great big battleship or something like that. But this has gone like completely mad. I mean, here it appears you're fighting against a Zeppelin that turns into a bloody big robot. It's very much bonkers type, absolutely insane vertically scrolling shoot 'em up action, and I absolutely love these type of games. I love these old school games, even though I'm not especially brilliant at them. They always had a very sort of special place in my heart as a gamer. I used to spend quite a lot of my pennies playing 1943. I absolutely adored that game. I loved playing the two-player version of it as well back in the arcades. And I remember being crushingly disappointed by the Commodore 64 version of it, because the Commodore 64 version in 1942 was actually really good, and I had a lot of high hopes for 1943, and it was pretty damn terrible. It was not very well programmed at all, and it just didn't stack up against the arcade. I'm not expecting it to graphically or sound-wise, but playability-wise, it just wasn't there. It was almost like it was an apologetic conversion, you know, we didn't really know what we were doing, but here it is anyway. So, I ended up actually getting hold of the proper arcade version of it via, well, there's various places you can get those now on Capcom collections, and I really enjoy it. So, I've always sort of tried to, really long and winded and roundabout ways, I've always sort of tried to locate these type of games, and wherever possible I enjoy playing them. There are quite a few others as well that I want to check out, but yeah, I noticed this one on the PlayStation Marketplace for download. I didn't have it on the original PlayStation 2 when I had that. I don't ever recall it being released in Europe. I mean, I'm probably mistaken, because the PS2 had that many games that was released. It could very well have been. I just don't ever recall seeing it, because I would like to have thought that had I seen it at the time I would have snapped it up. But one of the beauties of the PlayStation Network is the fact that they can stick all of these type of games on there that previously didn't get released. Because it doesn't matter, you know, they don't have to worry about all the nonsense of distribution and all of that insane crap that tends to go on and ruin perfectly good titles coming out in other territories. I mean, if you think how long it took them to get a game the quality and popularity of Demon's Souls, it was virtually a massive fan outcry that said we want it outside of Japan, and also probably the fact that a huge number of people were importing the game anyway, and eventually the powers that be thought, this is ridiculous, we could make some money off this. And yeah, it does happen with quite a number of games. I've been trying to get hold of Salamander in one form or another outside. I know it is available on the PC Engine, and I also know they did a compilation collection on the, I think it was PlayStation or Saturn or both. They may have done it on both. But that again only appeared to have been released in Japan. I think it went under the name of the Life Force collection. And again, that was one of my favourite arcades from my youth, and I'd love to be able to get hold of an arcade faithful reproduction. I know you can go and get these types of things on main, but I actually like to own a proper version of it. The problem with main is it is literally the arcade, so taking direct arcade and sticking it into a computer or whatever doesn't always gel well with the actual, it's kind of difficult to describe, but it doesn't usually gel well with actually playing on a home computer format, because there's a certain degree of optimizations that go on with these collections. I mean, certainly that's what I found with the Bubble Bobble collection. I enjoyed playing that a lot more than I would have been playing on main, just simply because it was a proper version that was tailored to a proper joypad. And although it was as faithful a reproduction of the arcade as you could get, you know, it still had those benefits, and that's kind of what I wanted with the Salamander as well. Kind of wanted to have, you know, those sorts of benefits of playing as good an arcade conversion as I could get, but one that's actually optimised for the controller that's in my hand, and not me trying to get the controller that's in my hand to work with it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I totally missed it completely, but this is actually part 2. It sort of switched over when I switched aircraft from the Spitfire to the P-38 Lightning, that I did actually change over from 1945 Part 1 to Part 2. As you can see, they're both very, very similar games. It still has the ridiculous bosses that turn into giant massive robots and blow the living crap out of you, so there's not much change there. But yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think the game was bundled both together, I would imagine so, on their original release, because they certainly are bundled together on this release. So yeah, a video of waffle that probably didn't really tell you an awful lot about the 1945 game you're watching, but I don't really know that much about it, aside from the fact that I enjoy playing it and it's well worth checking out if you're into this type of thing. So, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos to come.